Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Calls for a hostage deal gain support after Israel army probe says military operations in Gaza led to killing of 6 hostages. Netanyahu claims progress in talks in Qatar. At least 21 people, including 2 police officers, killed in post-poll violence in Mozambique. Opposition supporters protest after top court confirms ruling party victory. Famine spreading in war-torn Sudan and is projected to expand even further, says UN-backed report. ICC announces the 2025 Champions Trophy schedule. India to face Pakistan on 23rd February in Dubai. And from exchanging gifts to visiting church, world sings a carol of unity to celebrate Christmas. The Israeli army said on Tuesday that it had concluded that military operations in southern Gaza likely led to the killing by Hamas of 6 hostages in August. In late August, after troops found the 6 hostages' bodies in an underground shaft in Rafah, Israeli military conducted gradual and cautious ground activities but had a circumstantial influence on the terrorist decision to murder the 6 hostages. Netanyahu said at the time that the 6, Carmel Gath, Eden Yerushalmi, Harsh Goldberg Polin, Alexander Lobanov, Almug Serusi and Ori Danino were executed with a bullet in their heads. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum campaign group responded to the army's statement by calling for action to bring back all the remaining hostages. As the fighting churns on, an Israeli delegation returned from a significant round of talks in Qatar, aiming to secure a truce and the release of dozens of hostages still held in the Gaza Strip. Indirect negotiations between Israel and Hamas, mediated by Qatar, Egypt and the United States, have taken place in Doha in the recent days, rekindling hope of an agreement that has proven elusive. On Monday, Netanyahu told Parliament that there was some progress in the negotiations. Hamas and other Palestinian groups have also reported progress this week towards a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Lebanon's Ceasefire Monitoring Committee held a meeting in Beirut in the presence of caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati and Army Commander General Joseph Aoun nearly a month ago, in fact, nearly a month into the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. The Israeli army said early on Wednesday that one of its commanders was moderately injured after his vehicle was hit by an explosive device during the operation in the West Bank. Late on Tuesday, the military also said that aircraft had struck armed terrorists in the Noor Shams refugee camp. Hundreds of casualties on both the sides are being witnessed in the West Bank since the October 7, 2023 attack by Hamas on southern Israel, targeting the war in Gaza and a wider conflict on several fronts. Israeli forces also killed at least 8 Palestinians in the same raid on Tuesday on a refugee camp near the city of Tulkarm, while its forces arrested 18 other wanted individuals and confiscated dozens of weapons. Israel has instructed its diplomatic missions in Europe to try to get the Iran-backed Houthi group in Yemen designated as a terrorist organization. The Houthis have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel in what the group describes as acts of solidarity with Palestinians fighting Israeli forces in Gaza. The attacks have disrupted international shipping routes, forcing firms to reroute to longer and more expensive journeys that have in turn stoked fears over global inflation. The United States, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, Australia, Canada, New Zealand and Israel currently designate the Houthis as terrorists. Meanwhile, Israel intercepted a missile launched from Yemen earlier on Tuesday, marking a significant escalation in regional hostilities. But the missile was successfully neutralized before entering Israeli territory with no reported injuries or damage. Violence that engulfed Mozambique after the country's highest court confirmed ruling Frelimo party presidential candidate Daniel Chapo as the winner of disputed October 9th elections killed at least 21 people. Mozambique Interior Minister Pascal Ronda took a news conference late on Tuesday and said that a wave of violence and looting was sparked by the court's announcement a day earlier. He said it was led by mostly youthful supporters of losing candidate Venancio Mondlane, who received 24% of the vote, second to Chapo, who got 65%. 78 people have been arrested so far and security measures have been tightened across the country. Tensions were high in the country ahead of the Constitutional Council ruling on Monday, and violent protests started immediately after the announcement was made. Famine in Sudan has escalated, engulfing 5 areas and is threatening 5 more by May, according to a global hunger monitor. The famine, fueled by relentless conflict between Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces, grips camps in North Darfur and Nuba Mountains, with millions at risk. Despite dire warnings from the Integrated Food Phase Classification, that is IPC, aid efforts are crippled by warring parties, blockades and bureaucratic red tape. Only 10% of those in need have received food assistance in 3 months. As hunger tightens its grip on 24.6 million people, Sudan's government denies the crisis, rejecting famine declarations and also blaming the RSF, while the RSF deflects responsibility. Starvation, however, looms. As the new regime has taken over in Syria, the minorities, especially the Christians, are yet to feel safe. They are displaying their disappointment that the promises made by the new Islamist leadership have done little to soothe their fears in a country scarred by years of civil war. On the eve of Christmas, many Syrian Christians hit the roads in Damascus in fear, protesting against the burning of Christmas tree in Hama province of central Syria. That has once again been in fact has been a bastion of Assad. They lifted crosses as they rally on Damascus roads to protest against the burning of a Christmas tree in a town in Hama province in central Syria. Protesters chanted slogans as they marched through the Syrian capital towards the headquarters of the Orthodox Patriarchate in the Bab Shaki neighborhood. They say they are natives and the new regime should not treat them as foreigners. However, amidst fear, some of the Syrian Christian worshippers attended Christmas Eve Mass at Great Melkite Catholic Patriarchate, also known as the Zaytun Church in Damascus. They gathered to show their unity and revive the confidence of the minorities in the country that has been overtaken by Islamic radicals. Christians in Syria make up to 10% of the pre-war Syrian population, but now they make up less than 2%, falling from 1.5 million in 2011 to just 300,000 in 2022 due to widespread persecution by Islamist terrorists and the impact of the Syrian civil war. Syrian refugees in Egypt face an uncertain future as new regulations threaten their status following Bashar al-Assad's ouster on December 8th. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham's takeover of Damascus has reshaped global asylum policies, with Egypt suspending residency permit renewals and introducing a law transforming refugee oversight from the UN to the state. Rights groups warn the law's vague refugee definition could lead to deportations. Though Egypt hosts over 1,59,000 Syrian refugees, officials call refugees an economic burden amid a national crisis. While the law promises rights to work and education, Fears grow that Syrians may lose protection as stability returns to Syria. The UN urges Egypt to implement clear asylum procedures, but uncertainty prevails. You're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, reopening of Haiti's largest public hospital marked by chaos and unrest as armed men open fire on a group of journalists. Death toll from the most devastating Cyclone Chodo in Mayotte raises to 39 amid ongoing rescue efforts. The collapse of a local bridge, crucial in transportation of essential goods in Brazil, leaves residents with fears of rising living costs.
गर फिरदौस बर्रुए ज़मी अस्त हमी अस्तो हमी अस्तो हमी अस्त Jammu and Kashmir, nature's finest works. A land of verdant valleys, pristine lakes, striking autumns, unforgettable majestic beauty. A place of unwavering devotion, wholehearted smiles, and warm hospitality. World famous for its exquisite artistry. Leader in diverse agricultural products. Heartland of winter sports. Jammu and Kashmir is vibrant, diverse, ambitious, future-focused, full of life. Welcome to heaven on earth.
Goa, an adventure paradise like none other. From lush forests to rugged hills, from pristine ocean beach stretches to stunning lakes, there is something to explore in every corner of the state. And some adventures are wilder than others. Watch postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's continue getting more international updates. At least 3 people were killed and others were injured when armed men opened fire on a group of journalists gathered for a government press conference set to announce the reopening of Haiti's largest public hospital. 2 reporters and a police officer were killed. Armed gangs in Haiti with near total control over capital Port-au-Prince and wide remit over the rest of the country have targeted hospitals to show their muscle over the government, forcing most to shut down. The people of Haiti continue to suffer with unbearable levels of gang violence. Haiti has been engulfed in a wave of gang violence since the assassination in 2021 of the then president Jovenel Moise. Also, the UN says that as many as 5,000 people have been killed in violence in Haiti this year alone, and the country is now on the verge of collapse. The death toll from Cyclone Chodo in the French Indian Ocean territory of Mayotte has killed 39, according to the latest count. Meanwhile, France's Interior Ministry updated the number of wounded to 4,136, of which 124 were serious cases. At least 34 operations have been launched since the disaster struck to search for the missing, the ministry said, with drones being used in the effort. Cyclone Chodo, the most devastating cyclone to hit Mayotte in 90 years, caused colossal damage on December 14th in France's poorest department, where relief workers have struggled since then to restore essential services such as water, electricity and communications network. Bangladesh has asked its neighbour India to extradite former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to face judicial proceedings. The spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs says New Delhi has received the request. The formal request comes 2 weeks after India's Foreign Secretary visited Dhaka. It was the first high-level visit by an Indian official since Sheikh Hasina's 15-year rule ended.
India has received an extradition request from its neighbour Bangladesh. Bangladesh's Foreign Affairs Advisor Tawhid Hussain told journalists in Dhaka that Ms. Hasina is wanted for a judicial process in Bangladesh. Dhaka's request to New Delhi on Monday came 2 weeks after India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri visited Bangladesh. Hasina's son Sanjeev Bazid posted a message on social media platform in which he said, and I quote, "We reiterate our position in the fair manner that Yunus-led regime weaponized the judiciary and we express no confidence on the justice system," end quote. He also had a word or two to say about the International Crimes Tribunal of Bangladesh. The ICT is a domestic war crimes tribunal appointed by the Yunus regime, despite proven records of defending war criminals, reportedly spread deliberate disinformation, can and hold farcical trial to serve the interest of Yunus. But the very prosecutor later altered his statement following a media expose. India signed an extradition treaty with Bangladesh in 2013. Under Article 6 of the treaty, extradition may be denied if the alleged offence is of a political nature. Article 8 provides another ground for refusal if the accusation is not made in good faith in the interests of justice. Sheikh Hasina stepped down in the face of counter-white protests led by student groups on August 5th. Bureau Report, DD India.
This year, the celebrations of Christmas are subdued for some because of the ongoing conflicts and political turmoil in some countries. Fuzail Ahmed gets us more.
Every year, Christmas is celebrated with much excitement and grandeur around the world. However, this year, celebration is somewhat subdued by political turmoil and conflicts around the world. In Ukraine, many remember their loved ones who lost their lives in the ongoing conflict with Russia.
Звичайного життя взагалі не бачив.
He said, I can't leave my guys. The war won't end without me. I still have correspondence with him. I can't even get my hands up to erase it. He wrote, I'm here until the last.
In Damascus, hundreds of Christians gathered on Tuesday to protest the burning of a Christmas tree in the Al-Suqaylibiya district in Hamas's northern countryside. Carrying wooden crosses, protesters chanted slogans in Arabic, including, "We are your soldiers, Jesus," and "With blood and soul, we sacrifice for Jesus." In Bethlehem, a handful of Christian pilgrims could be seen praying in the Church of the Nativity on Christmas Eve in the West Bank. Foreign tourists, on whom Bethlehem's economy almost entirely relies, have largely stopped coming due to the ongoing violence in the West Bank and the war in Gaza. The Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, who crossed the checkpoint to West Bank's Bethlehem, said, "War is terrible with all the consequences of division, but faithful should not lose hope."
The war is terrible with all the consequences of division. We are in the place where divisions are very evident also from the structural point of view. To go through, the meaning is that it's possible, even where there are enormous and difficult walls, it's possible to trespass them if we want. We want, especially for this Christmas, we want to tell to our people not to lose hope.
In South Korea, many visitors felt distracted due to political turmoil in the country. In Germany, 4 days after a car attack on the visitors of a German Christmas market, the mood in Magdeburg remained somber on Tuesday, the day Germans traditionally celebrate Christmas. Mourners gathered next to a sea of flowers and candles at the site of Friday night's attack, wiped away tears and expressed disbelief and also anger at politicians, saying the tragedy, which left 5 people dead and more than 200 injured, may have been preventable. Fuzail Ahmed's report for DD India.
All right, up next we get you some Christmas cheer from around the globe. Dubai has transformed into a magical wonderland with sparkling holiday lights heralding the Christmas festivities. Dubai has embraced the Christmas spirit with style, blending international holiday traditions with its unique flair. Moscow is all lit up with festive lights and decorations ahead of the new year. The city is celebrating the spark of togetherness and love. Dazzling lights and Christmas sparkle have once again transformed New York City's streets into a winter wonderland, delighting residents and visitors alike. With more than 50,000 multicolor LED lights, the Christmas tree is the center of attraction for one and all. Streets or homes across the globe are adorned with sparkling decorations, celebrating togetherness. In the quiet of night, the soft sound of carolers fills the air, their voices resonating with messages of peace and joy. US President Joe Biden shared on December 24th a Christmas video showcasing the festive decorations at the White House. In his message, Biden reflected on the enduring message of the holidays, emphasizing on peace and compassion among all Americans. Each year, President Biden and the First Lady have opened the doors of the People's House wider and wider to welcome Americans in to celebrate the holidays. US President Joe Biden takes part in the beloved holiday tradition of tracking the journey of Santa Claus as he travels around the world delivering gifts to children. This fun and light-hearted event, known as the North American Aerospace Defense Command Tracks Santa program, has become a festive highlight, with the President's participation adding a special touch to the excitement of the Christmas season. North American Aerospace Defense Command website features updates on Santa's travels around the world. The tradition began in 1955 when a child telephoned the Continental Air Defence Command Operations Centre asking for Santa Claus. And Christmas celebrations grip India also with a wave of joy, unity and festive spirit, transforming the nation into a colourful celebration of culture, faith and togetherness. In major cities like Goa, Shimla and Shillong, the streets are lit up with dazzling Christmas lights and public spaces are adorned with massive Christmas trees and intricate decorations. Shopping markets and restaurants compete with one another to showcase their best holiday displays, attracting crowds eager to experience the magic of Christmas. The festive spirit is evident everywhere, from beautifully decorated homes to the bustling Christmas markets, offering everything from homemade decorations to festive foods. Renowned Indian sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik makes another world record by making an installation of Santa Claus on sand with chocolates that set a new world record at Puri Beach in Odisha. He used 550 kilograms of candy chocolates on sand art in over 16,000 square feet area. All right, DD India correspondent Kanzel Rodrigues joins us from Goa. Kanzel, good morning. Now you there in
Good
Goa.
morning, Preeti.
Yes.
Good morning,
Let us
Preeti.
know, how is the Christmas morning there in Goa? We tell our viewers that Goa is all decked up ahead of the Christmas Eve. Get us more as to how are people celebrating Christmas there in Goa.
Okay, first of all, let me wish Preeti, you a Merry Christmas, as well as the DD India team. Merry Christmas and compliments of the season. Last night, midnight, masses were held in churches all over Goa, and especially the main in Old Goa, where I am standing at the moment. Behind you can see the Sai Cathedral Church, and just in front of my camera there is the Basilica Church. The midnight mass was held there, and the main celebrant was the Archbishop Philip Neri Cardinal Ferrand, who was the main celebrant of the Christmas Mass, and thousands of people attended this midnight Christmas Mass. You know that Goa is fully buzzed during Christmas, where not only Goa, people from all over the world come and Goa join the Christmas celebrations. So it's really buzzed everywhere, where you will see whole areas, villages, everybody, everywhere light up with the festival color lights, Christmas, and everything around is like fully in Christmas mood.
All right, so everything around is fully in Christmas mood, but then also get us more as to, how do people, we're talking about how people celebrate Christmas, but then the Christmas festive, the Christmas spirit, how is it evident in today's times? Kanzel, get us more as to how do people look forward to Christmas. It's the festival of togetherness, it's the festival of sharing. Get us more as to what is it that people look forward to?
In Goa, especially when you talk about Christmas, Christmas is a celebration, especially where it unites family. So at the end of the year, where family give, whoever is working abroad or who their relatives are out of Goa, they wait for Christmas to come, where they get together, everybody. So it's like a family time. Celebrations are huge. You will see there are various sweets. We call it in Konkani like dodol, then baby, all these are made. And in the afternoon, today afternoon, during lunchtime, this all will be given to everybody. And the sweets and it will be distributed with everybody. Even some of them tend to go to old age homes where people are there, spend time with the elders, spend time with those who are lonely and all. And so it's not Christmas is not only among this yourselves. It is a joyous celebration where everyone comes together and celebrates with everybody here. And the important thing,
yes,
important thing during this year is that during Christmas Goa is also celebrating one of the most important thing is that the 18th exposition of the sacred relics of Saint Francis Xavier. Behind me, if you see the Sai Cathedral Church, this is the place where the body of the relics of the Saint Francis Xavier has been kept for the last over 1 month, where thousands, you can say lakhs of people have been attending this for the veneration. So it's not only Christmas, but it's also a celebration of the relics of the Saint Francis Xavier here in Goa.
All right, Council, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining us today morning and getting us more on the Christmas festivities in Goa. All right, now we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. Residents of Espírito in northeastern Brazil were forced to cross the Tocantins River by boat after a major local bridge collapsed on Sunday. Locals expressed fear over potential spikes in living costs as the bridge played a crucial role in the transportation of essential goods such as food and was key commute route for many workers. Turkey launches scenic tourist train service from Ankara to Kars, offering unique winter travel experience through the historic eastern route. The service, spanning a 365-kilometer route, is one of the world's most notable long-distance train journeys. The service will operate 60 trips in total between Ankara and Kars by March 2nd next year, with an expected passenger count of 12,000. Thailand has sent 24,000 doses of anti-cholera medication to Myanmar, which should be enough for 2,400 patients, and will send about 4,000 doses of anti-cholera vaccine next week to cope with the current cholera outbreak in Myanmar border towns. Time now for a short break. On DD India News, but after the break, the nation remembers Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his 100th birth anniversary. The day is also observed as Good Governance Day. Marking the 100th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate multiple development projects in Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh. GRAP 4 restrictions lifted in Delhi NCR as the air quality improves. Citizens are urged to follow GRAP 3 guidelines.
Take a front seat to witness the grandeur that is Odisha. Experience immortal spirituality and timeless architecture that perfectly reflects the artistic soul of India. Get swept by its sun-kissed beaches. Take a walk on a bed of golden sand. Witness aquatic wonders. Exotic wildlife. Odisha is home to an enduring cultural legacy. Vibrant and colorful festivals. Captivating folk dances. Excellence in arts and crafts. With flourishing eco-tourism. With fast developing infrastructure. Odisha is set for a promising new future. Welcome to India's best kept secret.
Age of artificial intelligence. New strides in semiconductors. Pushing the frontiers of space. Watch Reflections 2024, Science, Technology and Space, only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. A quick relook at the top stories now. Calls for a hostage deal gained support after Israel army probe says military operations in Gaza led to killing of 6 hostages. Netanyahu claims progress in talks in Qatar. At least 21 people, including 2 police officers, killed in post-poll violence in Mozambique. Opposition supporters protest after top court confirms ruling party victory. Famine spreading in war-torn Sudan and is projected to expand even further, says UN-backed report. ICC announces the 2025 Champions Trophy schedule. India to face Pakistan on 23rd February in Dubai. And from exchanging gifts to visiting church, world sings a carol of unity to celebrate Christmas. Remembering former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee on his birth anniversary, which is marked on December 25th every year in India, the day is also observed as Good Governance Day. Born in 1924 in Gwalior, he served as India's 10th Prime Minister for 3 non-consecutive terms, remaining a towering figure. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a prominent Indian politician and a founding member of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Known for his eloquence and poetic skills, he was respected across party lines for his liberal political views and consensus-building efforts. Vajpayee was even honoured with Bharat Ratna, the country's highest civilian honour, in 2015. On the occasion of the 100th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Madhya Pradesh on 25th of December. He will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects in Khajuraho. Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of Ken-Betwa River Linking National Project, country's first interlinking of rivers project under National Perspective Plan. Along with this, the hydropower projects will contribute more than 100 megawatt in green energy. Prime Minister will also release a commemorative stamp and coin marking the 100th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. In line with his commitment to energy sufficiency and promoting green energy, Prime Minister will inaugurate the Omkareshwar floating solar project established at Omkareshwar in Khandwa district of Madhya Pradesh. India remembers Mahamana Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya on his birth anniversary today. His birth anniversary is a tribute to his legacy of promoting education, Hindu-Muslim unity and his efforts to revive Indian cultural and spiritual values. A prominent freedom fighter, educationist and the founder of Banaras Hindu University, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya is remembered for his immense contributions to India's independence movement and social reforms. On December 24, 2014, he was posthumously bestowed the highest civilian honour of India, the Bharat Ratna. The Stage 4 restrictions under Graded Response Action Plan, that is GRAP, in Delhi NCR have been revoked as air quality has improved in the city. However, measures under Stages 1, 2 and 3 remain in place to prevent further pollution. On Tuesday, the air quality index, that is AQI, fell to 369, a significant drop from the severe level of 401 recorded earlier. Favorable weather, including improved wind conditions, contributed to the improvement. Authorities have urged citizens to follow GRAP 3 guidelines while closely monitoring the air quality situation. The Indian Weather Department has predicted cold wave conditions for several parts of North India for Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures in northern regions are expected to fall significantly, with some areas already reporting below 0 degrees Celsius. Dense fog and severe cold wave conditions are very likely in some parts of Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and Jammu and Kashmir. Ground frost conditions are also expected in parts of Himachal Pradesh, signalling harsher winter days ahead. Residents are advised to take necessary precautions to stay warm, especially during the early morning and late evening hours. The Weather Department has also issued heavy rainfall forecast for coastal Andhra Pradesh, accompanied by thunderstorms and lightning. Tamil Nadu and Puducherry may also experience moderate rainfall with thunderstorms. People in these areas should remain cautious and avoid outdoor activities during heavy rain or storm conditions. The northern Indian state of Himachal Pradesh has been transformed into a winter wonderland with fresh snowfall bringing joy to both visitors and locals. As the holiday season draws near, the snowfall has set the stage for a memorable winter, continuing to captivate hearts. In the capital city of Shimla, tourists are mesmerized by the snow-covered hills, sparking excitement among those dreaming of a white Christmas. Visitors from across the country are delighted by the snowfall, calling it a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Meanwhile, local businesses, especially in tourism and hospitality, are hopeful for an extended tourist season. All right, DD India correspondent Muskan Chaudhary joins us from Shimla. Muskan, good morning. It's a Christmas morning and it must be a treat for the people there who wished for a white Christmas. As we tell our viewers, tell us, how has the morning begun there?
Good morning, Kriti. The weather is really good. We have finally blue, clear sky after 3 days of snowfall and rainfall and cloudy weather. It's finally cleared today, and it is a Christmas today, and people are very excited to be here in Shimla, especially tourists. Though they were hoping for a white Christmas, but they couldn't get white Christmas. But yeah, it is very chilly and cold out here. But tourists are really excited to be here in Shimla, and the conditions are very good. But as compared to other places like Manali or the Atal Tunnel or the higher regions of Himachal right now, they are going through a much worse conditions. In Manali right now, the people are, as we know, yesterday there were almost around 1,000 vehicles that were stuck in Manali or the Rohtang Tunnel area. And it has somehow became a headache for administration. Administration is trying to tell tourists especially to drive safe and keep themselves safe, be calm and do not panic at situation if they get stuck. But as we know that tourists are very much excited to be here, so they are ignoring these appealing that is being done by administration. But then nevertheless, they are very happy to be here. And the snowfall has turned out to be a blessing for not only the tourists, but for the locals and the tourism department and for the local business as well. They are very excited, and Winter Carnival has started. So it is a double treat for tourists right now.
All right, it's a double treat for tourists right now. Thank you so much, Ms. Khan, for joining in with those details. And a NASA spacecraft is attempting to make history with the closest ever approach to the sun. Parker's solar probe will revolutionize the understanding of the sun. Parker's solar probe, launched in 2018, heading to the center of our solar system. It has already swept past the sun 21 times, getting ever nearer, but the Christmas Eve visit is record-breaking. At its closest approach, the probe is 6.2 million kilometers from our star's surface. The mission is named for Dr. Eugene N. Parker, who pioneered the modern understanding of the sun. It is out of communication for several days, and scientists will be waiting for a signal expected on 28th of December to see if it has survived. If it survives this challenge, the probe will continue its mission around the sun into the future. A quick break ahead. Stay with us. After the break, we'll tell you IMF grants Egypt initial approval of $1.2 billion in fourth review of the extended fund facility management. New York Starbucks hit by protest as workers launch historic 5-day strike across 45 states over wages and working conditions. In women's cricket, India wins ODI series 2-0 against West Indies.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy, always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News. Let's get you updates from the world of business now. The International Monetary Fund said on Tuesday that it has reached a deal with the Egyptian authorities, allowing the country access to about $1.2 billion. The deal comes as both sides reached staff-level agreement on the fourth review under the extended fund facility arrangement, though the funding access is subject to executive board approval. Ivana Vlatkova-Holler, who led the IMF mission involved in discussions with the Egyptian authorities, said that the Egyptian authorities have continued to implement key policies to preserve macroeconomic stability despite ongoing regional tensions that are causing a sharp decline in Suez Canal receipts. She also noted that authorities' plans to streamline and simplify the tax system were commendable, but that further reforms will be needed to enhance domestic revenue mobilization efforts. The discussions culminating in the deal were held in person from November 6th to 20th and virtually afterwards. Dozens of workers protested outside a Manhattan Starbucks on Tuesday, kicking off a 5-day strike across the U.S. that could become the largest in the coffee chain's history. With over 5,000 employees in over 300 U.S. stores walking off the job, the strike aims to spotlight grievances over wages, staffing and scheduling. Starbucks Workers United claims nearly 300 U.S. stores are fully shut down, despite the company asserting 98% remain operational. Strikes have spread across 45 states across the U.S., including major cities like New York, Los Angeles and Seattle. The unrest follows a breakdown in talks earlier this month when workers rejected a limited wage increase offer. The strike, set to end on Christmas Eve, highlighted growing tensions in one of America's largest chains. Russia has announced a groundbreaking development in cancer treatment with the creation of mRNA-based vaccine designed to treat cancer patients. RT correspondent Roman Kosarev gets us this report.
A brand new vaccine being developed in Russia. Cancer could soon become an illness of the past, just like polio, tetanus, measles, and many other illnesses as well. Now, the vaccine is being developed here at the Gamaleya National Epidemiology Center, the same place that brought to you the highly effective Sputnik V vaccine against COVID-19.
As we all know, this is a multi-stage process. We began the first stage around the middle of 2022, when we realized that the technology underlying the development of these vaccines held great promise. Why 2022? Because it was only in 2020 that technologies emerged allowing foreign antigens to be introduced into the body.
Tumors dissipate and metastases disappear thanks to the new Russian cancer vaccine, according to preclinical studies. The new drug will be tailored individually to each patient. Artificial intelligence will be key in streamlining the analysis of the actual parameters of a tumor, and the vaccine will then be ready for the patient's use within a week. Alexander Ginsberg is certain that even stage 4 cancer patients will eventually be able to benefit from the new vaccine. Human trials are set to start next September, but Mr. Ginsberg is already confident that another mRNA-based vaccine will be just as successful as Sputnik V, as Moscow's Gamaleya National Center of Epidemiology and Microbiology made quite a few headlines during the COVID-19 pandemic when its highly efficient Sputnik V vaccine was administered to millions of people. The cost of the new vaccine currently stands at around $3,000. That's just for the state to produce it. But according to the Russian Health Ministry's chief oncologist Andrei Koprin, the government will pick up the tab and cancer patients should get the vaccine completely for free. Roman Kosarev, RT, Moscow.
And now we turn focus to sports. We'll talk of cricket. The International Cricket Council has declared the schedule for Champions Trophy 2025. The much-awaited clash between India and Pakistan will take place on 23rd of February in Dubai. Besides Pakistan, the other two teams in India's group are Bangladesh and New Zealand. India will play Bangladesh on 20th February and New Zealand on 2nd of March. All matches of Team India will be held in Dubai, which is the neutral venue for the tournament. Defending champions and hosts Pakistan will kick off the tournament on 19th February against New Zealand in Karachi. In women's cricket, India beat West Indies by 115 runs in the second one-day international in Vadodara to win the 3-match series 2-0. Harleen Deol secured a brilliant century to take her team to a mammoth total of 358 runs. On the other hand, West Indies were bowled out for just 243 runs in 46.2 overs. India's Priya Mishra took 3 wickets, while Deepti Sharma and Pratika Rawal took 2 each. With this win, India has clinched the 3-match series with the last match scheduled to take place on Friday. South Africa's Prasar Bosch is set to make his red ball debut against Pakistan in the Boxing Day Test match. Bosch earned the Test cap just days after making his one-day international debut on Sunday. The 30-year-old Bosch will join Marco Jansen, Kagiso Rabada and Dane Patterson in the bowling lineup. The all-pace attack means frontline spinner Keshav Maharaj will have to sit out. South Africa, who have won their last 5 Test matches, sit on top of the World Test Championship standings. Team USA's Coco Gauff and Taylor Fritz arrived at Perth on Tuesday ahead of the United Cup, a mixed team tournament that marks the start of the new season and also provides some preparation for the next month's Australian Open. Gauff and Fritz teamed up for the US at the Paris Olympics, where they lost in the quarterfinals to eventual bronze medalist Gabriela Dabrowski and Felix Auger-Aliassime of Canada. The Americans will look to exact some revenge on their Canadian rivals while they begin their campaign against Leila Fernandez and Auger-Aliassime in Group A on Sunday. The United Cup will take place in Sydney and Perth, featuring 18 countries, with the finals set for January 5th. India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audience. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. With that reminder, we end this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.